You're listening to Passages, a podcast about great quotes, life, and the wisdom of the Bible. And now your hosts, Drew Kaiser, Jason Pulliam, and Tim Layton.
We shall meet, but we shall miss him. There will be one vacant chair. We shall
Drew,
linger to caress.
I sit here and I'm looking at an empty chair.
This room feels a lot larger tonight.
There's
Too
an
much
empty
space in
spot
here.
in the room and in my soul.
Yeah.
More
But it's
importantly, we have to caress him when he returns.
well,
The song says
no, it just, we linger to do that. It never says we actually follow through with it.
Let's not jump to
Yeah,
conclusions.
come on, Patrick.
You know,
You've been around here long
the
enough
song
to...
says it, Drew. I just, we have to stay here until he gets back and then caress him.
The question is, would you rather be here podcasting tonight or at Disney with a bunch of teenagers?
I would rather be here.
Yes. I think I agree with that.
Tim loves his son, so he went to Disney World, where Jonathan is performing
Marching
at Disney
at
World with the
Disney,
marching
yeah,
band.
which is really a cool thing.
After he basically swept the archery scene, I'll brag on Tim's son since he's not here to do it.
Hey, I went and watched that Saturday.
On Saturday?
And that is pretty interesting stuff. Those guys are good. Now there are some of the kids, because it's like there's high schoolers, like there's people Jonathan's size, which is like 6'12", and
Right.
then with a 15-inch waist.
Yeah.
He's a tall kid. But then there were like 5th and 6th graders, maybe 7th graders,
Yeah.
and it was really funny watching the dynamics because the high school kids. I mean, Jonathan. Don't make him mad if he has bow and arrow in hand.
If you mess
He is a
with
good
him,
shot.
do it short range.
That's right.
Because if you make him angry a long ways off, he's going to
At
put
10
an
to
arrow right
15
between your
yards,
eyes.
it's a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
But he did awesome. But watching the little kids and where their arrows went and them like bouncing across the floor, and I mean, it was especially at 15 yards.
It's brave to
I really enjoyed watching it. I'm
run
glad
a
I got to go.
archery competition with 5th graders.
I tried.
Wow.
I asked him how much money it would cost me to get him to run behind the targets while they were all shooting. The number was astronomical, so I couldn't pull that off.
Not a good idea.
No.
We'll miss Tim, but we'll carry on tonight. Last week we were out. Patrick and I made a quick trip to Freed-Hardeman University where we
Very
had a
quick.
presentation.
Were y'all there for even 24 hours total?
No.
Well, you were, weren't you?
No.
I was not.
No, I left. I got in Wednesday evening at 4, I think, and left the next day at like 2:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost made it 24 hours.
It was a very quick trip for you.
Yeah. By the time we got there, the whole thing was almost over.
It was.
So,
But y'all
But
got
it
to
had to be
speak,
done.
right?
yes.
That's
yes.
pretty cool. I need to go back to
Using AI in ministry.
that. Is it
Yep.
going to, are they going to move it back to its normal date, you think?
I think it'll be in February next year. Yeah.
I need to put it on my calendar and plan it.
Yes.
I enjoyed
Let's
going.
do it.
It was
let's
fun.
Let's get a passages table in the exhibition hall.
I would be all for it. I think that would be great.
It's
What if we did a live
above our
broad?
budget,
What if we
but-
did a live broad? We have no budget because we have no
well,
real
that's-
sponsors.
That's what
I mean, we do have a sponsors, but we could set up and do a broadcast sitting in the exhibit hall. Just grab
yeah.
people as they come by and interview them.
Yeah.
So before we jump into tonight, Drew, I just finished Burdens. I read it for the second time. And the second time through, I read it on my Kindle, which was really cool because I could highlight and stuff instead of marking up that beautiful hardback book that you
Yes.
signed for me. But man, what a good job you did writing that book.
Aw, thank you, man.
If you haven't gone and got it, it's worth the read. I have Kindle Unlimited. Did you know it was on Kindle Unlimited?
I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
So Kindle Unlimited means
I pay a small monthly subscription and I can download any books
Anything.
on Kindle Unlimited. So I don't
Okay.
know how you get revenue from it, but it was cool.
they pay me by the page.
Yeah. Well, it
It's
was
just
really
pennies
cool. Well,
per
it's
page.
Yeah. It was really cool though. But there was a story in there about a guy named Caleb. And that was probably I think the actual story was Burden.
Yeah.
And it was a really good one. It like I read it in a different way this time. I'm in a different spot in life than I was last time. Really well done. So if you haven't read it or his other book, Sufficient Grace, I recommend you going to get that. Amazon, Riddle Creek Publishing, anywhere you get books.
That's right. Thank you for the free advertising. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm a fan. I was reading it and I was talking to a friend of mine at work that I work with who you know, and he was talking about reading it and that he thought it was really good too.
So he had
read it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it was really cool.
Drew, I just went blank. The listing on...
I thought my headphones died for a second.
The listing on Amazon says this title uses virtual voice narration.
Yes.
Now I want to know what that sounds like.
Will it play through your computer? There's a sample.
That's what I'm...
You can hear.
Virtual.
I hope it's British.
Is AI generated. Well, I'm sorry, Patrick. It may not be AI, but
this title is narrated with virtual voice. Computer generated narration for audiobooks. Burdens by Drew Kaiser.
Doesn't sound bad.
No, not at all.
A People at Sea.
First story. Takes him a minute to get going.
A bell chimed as the door of the little shop opened, alerting the shopkeeper to the entrance of an old man wearing a shabby hide.
I love the old man in this story.
The old man dropped into one of the chairs the shopkeeper had on display.
It's got a little...
Took a filthy-looking rag from his leather bag.
Yeah.
And mopped his bald head, shining it as if it were a precious gem. The shopkeeper cast a flimsy smile in the old man's direction.
They just did this.
And returned to the conversation he'd been having with his friend, who flared out his nostrils.
It's amazing.
And
nobody has
eyebrows
purchased
at the
it, which is fine. I'm hurt over that, but
I like reading it myself, actually.
Yeah. Well,
I can't highlight when I'm listening to it.
There's that, and then with audiobooks, I can read with my eyes faster than I can listen to an audiobook.
Yeah,
I know you can increase the speed, but then
even if I'm underlining it, then it starts getting that chipmunk sound to it if you go too fast. So I want to bring up some sports news tonight, Yay Sports issues. And it's going to be a bit of a somber Yay Sports, which the applause was maybe a little bit much for. Guys, we lost an American icon here this week on the 21st, actually. George Foreman passed away.
George Foreman, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's not jump ahead.
You're really jumping
when
ahead.
You say George Foreman.
But an American professional boxer, businessman, minister, and author. He competed between 1967 and 1997. So the guy had a 30-year career fighting. In fact, he made a comeback at the age of 45, which was really
incredible.
Cool. One of the hardest hitting boxers. My grandfather was a big boxing guy. So I can remember going to Granddad's house on Friday nights, and Friday nights were boxing night, fight night, and then there was some Saturday fight nights. He had one of those giant satellites that like you could see him moving it when he was changing channels because it was so big it would rotate. And he could pick up fights from all over the place. And we would always watch boxing. And he loved some George Foreman because of how just Foreman would just stand in and just outpunch you. And he hit really, really hard. An Olympic gold medalist, won the Olympic gold in 1968 in heavyweight boxing. Knocked out Joe Frazier in the second round in 1973. Knocked him down 6 times in the first 2 rounds of that fight. And that's the famous down goes Frazier, down goes Frazier call. But I thought it was just interesting just reading some of the stories and the tributes to him. And he did have many children. He had 12 children, 5 boys and 7 girls. He had George Jr., George III, George IV, George V, and George VI. 5 boys, 7 girls. One of his girls was named Georgietta, which I thought was interesting. He liked his name.
Yeah.
But I found an article that was just on a sports website about it. And it really paid a lot of nice compliments to the man he was as a boxer. and how the loss to Muhammad Ali, which was his first loss, that was the Rumble in the Jungle. And it was one of the most watched boxing matches ever, but how that changed his attitude in his life, how he came from being like trying to be the most intimidating, hardest hitting guy out there to a nice name that ended up in households across the world, because not only did he box, the man liked to grill.
Yeah.
The man liked a good burger. He liked some good chicken, and he made the George Foreman grill, or he was endorsed the George Foreman grill.
I still have mine.
I had one. It died. I had one
Mine's
in college.
still operational.
I loved my George Foreman. I cannot tell you how many hamburgers and chicken sandwiches I grilled on my George Foreman grill back in the day.
Makes a good panini too.
He was one of the most popular and most successful, what's the word I'm looking for? TV, as seen on TV pitchmen for his products. But one of the things I read, and I thought this would just be cool to read it here. It was talking about his kind of religious career and kind of how his life had changed. And this article had a really neat thing that he said, and I wanted to read it, and then we can, it's kind of long, so I hate to take up this much time. But as I read it, I really was impressed by what he had to say. And I don't see a year as when he said this, but this is just this is from something he wrote, what's the word? Promoting his biopic that came out about himself. So I'm going to read it, and then I'll be done with my stuff. And I just thought it was really good. He said, during my boxing career, I conquered most of the challenges I faced in the ring, but the challenge of being genuinely happy was another matter. He shared in a Guidepost article. Foreman's success in the ring made him famous, and even when he lost to Muhammad Ali, he received a $5 million check. However, money didn't bring him the joy he desperately wanted. But if you think that $5 million made me happy, think again. I've been poor with millions of dollars, and I've been rich when I was broke, Foreman said. Money never gave me any real joy, but with God in my heart, I am a rich man no matter what. It's not our circumstances that determine our happiness, he added. It's our attitude toward those circumstances. The Bible says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God. Those words don't promise that only good things will happen to you if you love God, but they do promise that if you love Him, whatever happens can turn out to be in your favor. It says, when Hurricane Katrina hit his hometown of Houston, Texas, Foreman realized that no matter how good you have it in this life, it could be gone in a second. A single storm can sweep through and take it all away. But if you've got God, you'll be okay, he added. Foreman can attest that God can turn any loss into a win, sharing more about his fight with Muhammad Ali. They weren't just opponents, they were enemies, and after the loss, Foreman only thought about how he could defeat Ali again. However, when Foreman trained for his comeback, he fought Jimmy Young, a journeyman fighter, and Foreman lost. And in that moment, Foreman realized that life without God left him empty. Soon after that experience, I called Muhammad, talking about Muhammad Ali, and let him know what had happened to me. I told him I didn't hate him anymore. In fact, I loved him. He responded to my kindness, and a true friendship developed between us. It doesn't matter what your own worst moment is. Storms of all kinds rage through our lives, and sometimes they can take everything from us, Foreman added. But if you have your faith, your own worst moment can become your best. Adversity is never far from us in this earthly life, but neither is the help we need in getting through it. If I have the Lord in my heart, I have the one thing that truly matters, Foreman concluded. And I thought that was really, really well written. It makes me want to go back and watch his biopic. I had seen a TV show that he was a part of, and he seemed like a genuinely humble, good guy. Now, I don't think he was always that way, but I think later in life, he had fought a lot of his demons, and he had found some true joy. And I don't know, you don't see many statements like that from uber famous professional athletes.
Right.
And I don't know, I just really liked that when I read it. And that was on the site Barstool Sports. So for them to post that was really, I don't know, I just thought it was a really cool thing.
I think when you get that level of fame, these media outlets, especially in the sports world, they have to put your statements out there.
Yeah.
And that's a great way that he used it.
Yeah.
He touched on a lot of things we talk about on this podcast. Our quotations come back to these themes over and over again, that money doesn't make you happy, that, only God can make you happy. And the circumstances don't matter so much as what's inside you, things like that.
I thought it was just really a good testament.
It's nice to hear.
Life.
Yeah, it's nice to hear those kinds of sentiments. And somebody who knows, who's been there.
And I've probably read today 5 or 6 articles about him, and generally they are all super positive about the help he did, the boys and girls clubs he supported in his community, the shelter. I mean, he was a good man and did a lot of really, really good work. And I think that's a side we forget about some of these super famous professional athletes, is that they're still human, and a lot of them are really good people. And it's sad that, I didn't know that much about him until I started reading after his passing. So I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was worth the share.
So have I been saying it wrong all my life when I say biopic? Because I heard you say is it biopic?
I've always thought it was biopic.
We're going to, in
this
real
would
time.
be a rarity if I was right and you were wrong.
You may be
when
right.
It comes to words.
Biopic sounds better than biopic. You're talking about a movie about him, right?
Yeah.
Biopic.
Oh, I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was in trouble. That one hurts.
Well,
at least it wasn't facade. That one hurts. I thought for once I had it. Now I've got to look it up in my dictionary. Let's just see if it's a dictionary.
It could be said either way, though, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just wherever you put the emphasis.
Yeah. It's so laudable.
There's some disagreement. You'll enjoy this, Jason. Biopic does not and never will rhyme with myopic.
Oops.
Again, I was wrong.
But, as an optometrist, maybe he should say
Maybe he
biopic.
should say biopic.
I mean, maybe he's right.
As I expected, when it comes to words, I've never defeated Drew. Ever.
Well.
Ever.
Probably never will.
No.
You can defeat me at pretty much everything else.
Not a chance.
Not boxing.
No. We'll see.
No,
Maybe
we
it.
won't. I hope not.
Let's take it from Houston, Texas to Memphis, Tennessee.
Is this Critter Chronicles? Oh,
Critter
man,
Chronicles.
We hadn't done this one in a while.
So, headline, robbed at Fangpoint. Python-wielding
Fangpoint.
thieves snatch $400 in CBD oil from Tennessee gas station. The police are searching for 4 men accused of threatening station clerks with pythons before snatching cannabis oil.
I've got this picture in my head of them squeezing the snake's jaw open and like holding the fang up.
But do pythons have fangs?
I don't know.
I got to look that up.
We'll look that up.
Yeah, look that up because they may not. They're
thought-
not poisonous. I know that.
No, pythons do not have fangs.
So,
so the guy writing the story
this was
needs to do his
clickbait.
research.
Lauren Aratani, you need to make a correction.
I'm not even going to correct your pronunciation because you're probably right.
Well, I doubt it on that one. So the men allegedly stormed into the gasoline station outside Memphis, Tennessee, wielding pythons, and at Fangpoint stole $400 worth of CBD oil. That's what they wanted.
Why did he call it a gasoline station?
We've got a lot of problems. This is Lauren. Stop misgendering her, first of all.
Oh, I was thinking like Lauren Michaels. Like, I mean,
No, it's a L-A-U-R-E-N.
okay.
Excuse me.
She likes
Lauren.
the Fangpoint
I
thing, and
apologize.
it's gasoline station. Oh, I know why, because this is in The Guardian. of all things.
What is
that's a British
paper writing about
there we
Memphis, Tennessee.
Would that not be petrol?
Oh, it would be
you're
a
right.
petrol
It
station.
seems like a petrol station. Everything they say sounds like a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
All
it?
right.
And they
All
say,
right.
isn't it?
Keep going.
Shouldn't every sentence end with "in it"?
Why wouldn't they have stolen a spot of tea? Oh, it was in Memphis. That's
Bro.
why.
That's Memphis.
Yeah.
The CBD oil is the tea in Memphis. Now police are looking for suspects who are equipped in a manner rarely seen to pull off the robbery, while those working at the store grapple with the stick-ups fallout. 2 brothers working in the store when the robbery occurred early in March more recently said they felt threatened by the 4 robbers they encountered who had 2 snakes among them. They were just waving them around and putting them on the counter, employee Mayor
I would have
Raval
given them the CBD oil.
told the local news station. One person brought in 1 snake first, and then after that, he brought in another snake. Now, I want to stop reading there because it's a better story, but I think for truth.
So were they just holding the pythons? Did they have a little box that the grinder box that you open and it pops out? And
this picture makes it look like they're just holding it over the.
He's holding it over. Is that a python? Can you confirm that by the picture?
I cannot.
Okay.
There's
not
it
a
does not look. It does
then.
not look like he is wielding or pointing any fangs in the direction of the cashier, though.
Since pythons don't have fangs, it would be hard to do that.
It would be.
Surveillance footage released by the local police department shows one man holding a curled up snake in his hands over the counter, while another snake appears to be twisting in another man's hand. I think they plan to successfully come here and rob the store, Raval said. Oh, did you? The snake is a weapon, you know. It is unclear if the police... I like this sentence. It is unclear if police agreed with Raval that the group was planning to use the snakes as weapons. Nonetheless, in certain instances...
The picture looked like a threatening... It looks like he was threatening with the snake.
What if
the law says they can get them for armed robbery, because if you go in and you like do the thing that I can't believe people fall for, where you act like you have a gun in your pocket and it's just your finger.
Yeah.
They can get you for armed robbery for doing that. The article points out.
Also, the snake was wrapped around his arm.
Oh, so it is definitely
it's
armed.
An unarmed robbery.
That's armed robbery for sure.
Also, based on this surveillance photo that we see, what if he was just trying to show the guy a snake?
Well, listen to this. In one surveillance photo, a man appears to run to the back. In one surveillance video, a man appears to run to the back as the group comes in with the snakes. The other cashier is later seen talking to the group, taking pictures of the snakes, and briefly holding one for a photo.
So it doesn't sound like this was a smash and grab then. I mean, if they're taking photos.
I mean, one guy's running away and the other guy's handing out the CBD oil and getting a picture.
It sounds to me like the person at the store panicked a little bit because of the snakes. It's a shame it wasn't Indiana Jones, running the register, because he would have said, "Why did it have to be snakes? I hate snakes."
And he would have got out of there.
Yes.
So in April, which comes after March, so that's weird.
That is, maybe.
So they traveled in time
a year ago?
I guess last April.
I'm starting to think that Lauren
is not great.
Tani is an AI.
Maybe it's the Mayan calendar.
Whoever she is, she's not a great writer. In April, a man tried to rob a gas station with a 5-foot-long snake wrapped around his neck. The cashier refused to open the register, and the man was eventually arrested on 2 counts of attempted aggravated robbery.
Now, aren't they constrictors? Why would you wrap it around your neck? Seems
That's
like a
crazy.
really bad way to rob a store. All right. If you don't give me your money, this thing's going to tighten up.
Well, this would have been a lot funnier story with our resident snake enthusiast, Tim Layton.
Yep.
Yeah, our resident herpetologist.
Very good. Yeah. Herpetologist, that's right. Because Tim believes that all... What does he call them? Satan's hand puppets?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old no shoulders.
Yeah. No shoulders.
Yeah. Well, they don't have shoulders. Have you ever seen a snake with shoulders?
I have not yet. No. And I've seen more than I want to see.
Yeah.
So we've got a python problem in this country.
Clearly.
Absolutely. People think they want them as pets, and then they release them into the wild, and these things don't have any predators.
They give rewards in Florida for them. You kill them and bring them in. Yeah, you get a cash reward.
That's probably a TV show somewhere where
I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. I may have just made that up.
I saw a YouTube video where a guy paid a guide to go python hunting in Florida.
I don't really like going looking for trouble.
No.
I mean, I don't.
There is a new show.
Oh, no.
That David Blaine, the magician, is doing.
Oh, dear.
Have y'all?
He's the levitating guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going around the world learning people's tricks.
Oh.
And I saw a preview of this where he's patting a cobra that's coiled and fanned out. He's patting it on the head.
And it has fangs.
And poison. And it's very poisonous.
Yes.
He's doing that. And there's another scene where he takes a steak knife and he puts it in his nostril all the way down to the hilt.
Oh.
Just in case you guys are looking for something to watch on TV.
I don't know about that.
You lost me at steak knife in the nose.
Man, what's it called? I can't remember.
We should do a segment, fangs or no fangs.
David Blaine. It's on Nat Geo.
Do not attempt.
Do not attempt. That's a good name for it.
It is, yet don't try this at home.
Not that I would be tempted to attempt anything David Blaine does.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with a cobra.
No.
I'm not going to stick a knife up my nose. Maybe a Q-tip every now and again.
I think he set himself on fire. There's all these jumping off of cliffs and doing things. Of course, somebody's going to come along and say, "Oh, it's all a hoax," and there's camera guy.
Doesn't he try to make you believe that he's actually levitating though? And we all know he's not.
Well, he does these.
He takes himself really serious, but
yeah, he doesn't tell how he does his tricks.
Yeah, which is good.
Man, he does some freaky stuff.
Yeah.
We're not in the magician. There was a magician phase in our pop culture. We're kind of out of that now.
Penn and Teller Fool Us is still airing on the CW because I have my DVR to record it.
I didn't even know they had a TV show.
But you know, I'm a magician junkie. I love magicians. I've been to New York. I have been to Vegas to see these huge magic acts, and
they're amazing.
I am mesmerized by them. And I don't think they're actually like really doing this stuff. I know their tricks, but the fact that they do them so good. I'm sorry. They do them so well. Let me correct myself there.
You remember Chris Angel?
Yeah, I've seen him. I saw his show.
You saw him live?
Yeah.
Saw a show?
Boy, that was a dark show.
Yeah,
very strange.
He's into the dark stuff.
A little weird.
The dark arts.
Yeah. Really cool. Really weird.
We've covered David Copperfield on the show.
I'm still waiting on the moon to disappear.
We had a blood moon just last week. Could have taken advantage of that.
I have been looking up. Dr. Gru had a better chance of stealing the moon and making it disappear from the Minion movies than David Copperfield.
Yeah, I don't think David Copperfield is going to do it.
No. And last I looked, the Statue of Liberty is still there too.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that was a hoax when he made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
I do too.
I'm starting to doubt it.
But what's not a hoax? Let's just bring this up quickly. They got the astronauts back from the International Space Station.
They did.
They were going up for a 1 week, 9-day trip. Ended up being like 9 months. They got back home.
And they're taller and they can't walk.
Yeah, they've got no bone, no muscle mass. They look like the boneless chickens. They're just blobs laying on the ground when they got back.
They were talking about what no gravity will do to your body, and they got to the part about the vertebrae spacing out and you getting taller, and I thought, that sounds amazing.
I'm thinking that pinched nerve in my back would feel a whole lot better.
My back pain would be gone.
But can you imagine what it would feel like when you got back? How much worse it would be? Because gravity it all crushes back together.
I wonder if they just feel this pressure. It seems like you would feel just...
They say their bone mass, like the density of their bones gets weaker. Yeah. But can you imagine I'm volunteering to go on this trip. They're telling me this is a week up to the ISS. And then 9 months later, you finally get home. And from what I've heard, they're not getting a lot of overtime pay for that. Trump says he's going to take care of them, but...
He said he'd take care of them even out of his own pocket. Yeah. Now, will the gravity problem be worse at the space station than on the moon? Because the moon has gravity. There's no gravity.
What is it, like 1/10 of the Earth's gravity on the moon. It's
much
either
less.
1/10 or 1/12, 1/16. It's one of those three numbers.
I'm wondering because
1/16,
we're
I
talking
think.
about colonies on the moon and colonies on Mars, and these are much smaller orbs than the Earth. So what's that going to do to people's bodies living out there?
It's about 16% of Earth's gravity.
Oh, I was wrong.
You had the 16 in
That
there.
was close.
Yeah. Well, that's much less.
I mean,
They're going to end up looking like the people.
What happens to bone
in,
density when you're living on the moon?
Oh, what was that movie where they live in the spaceship? The little space thing comes back to Earth, finds a flower. I can't think of it.
Wall-E.
That's what they're going to look like. The people will look like the people in Wall-E.
Cinema masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Good movie.
Never seen it.
Never?
It's probably one of my favorite
Missed that
animated
one.
movies.
I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah, you should
It's
watch
the
it.
first Pixar movie, right?
I don't think it's
No.
the first Pixar movie. That's
It's
It's
really
early Pixar.
It's probably one of my favorite animated movies.
when did it come out?
Now, it does have a little bit of, pollution.
Came out in
destroying the Earth.
2008.
It's got a lot of
Okay.
destroying the Earth by
Yeah,
pollution vibe, but
of course.
Captain Planet shows up. It's
It's a
okay.
good movie though. It's
It
worth
is.
the watch.
I'll check it out when I
Yeah.
get some spare time.
So in retirement. All right. Did you?
Anyway,
Can I ask you what grinds your gears?
What?
You know what really grinds my gears?
What is that, Patrick?
All right. I've been going back and forth on two things that really, really irritate me.
Okay.
I'm going to choose.
They're not sitting in the room with you,
No,
are they?
I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose the one that I think
Hey, Tim's not here. You can go with
is-
both if you need to vent.
is less impactful to my life, but irritates me probably more than the other one that I deal with almost every day.
Okay.
Do you guys ever go to the ATM anymore?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes.
I have,
Every now and again.
I have exactly one thing I have to use cash for, and that's my haircut. Because the lady I've been seeing since
They should pay.
was-
They should be paying you to get to cut that hair. It is beautiful.
thank you.
I love it.
The lady that I see, I've been seeing her since we moved back to Birmingham in 1998. So I've been seeing her now coming up on 30 years.
Mm.
Is that right?
my, how the time flies.
Yeah. Well,
Wow, we're getting old.
she does not take card or check or anything. It's cash only.
Smart
And
lady.
During the last 30 years, I've exactly one time had someone not her cut my hair, and it was an utter disaster in high school. So I will never make that mistake again.
I'm guessing she's starting to get up there in age a little bit.
She's maybe, I don't know, 20 years older than me.
Okay,
Maybe.
so she'll be around for a little bit longer.
So 42.
No,
Huh.
I am coming up on the big 40 though.
Yeah.
So she's not 60. She's probably
very offended if she lives.
she's probably 50.
Okay,
She's probably
that's good.
either really close to 50 or just over 50.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, love my haircut lady. It's the fact that she only takes cash though. So I have to go to the ATM once a month. I get my hair cut once a month because otherwise it turns into a big poofy thing and it can't do it. So once a month. So here's what really grinds my gears. When you go to the ATM, you stick your card in, and now you don't like stick it in and pull it out. You have to stick it in and you leave it.
Does yours not have the tap
It's
option?
the chip. Well, America's first federal credit union of
Does not
Birmingham,
have the
Alabama does not have tap
Oh,
debit cards, which is a problem. That's a whole nother story.
that would grind my gears.
Yeah. I don't really use it a lot though. I use credit card otherwise,
yeah.
but I can't, it's too expensive to get money off the credit card from an ATM. So you stick your card in and it takes a good 15 seconds for the ATM to read the chip. So irritation number one. Irritation number two, every single time it asks me English or Espanol. Okay, fine. First time, no big deal. You hit English, then it asks you for your PIN. That's good. You get in there and there's some options. I always choose the fast $50 so I don't have to type anything. I just one button and I'm done. It spits out my money, my card, and a receipt. But if you look at the ATM, there's this button that says profile settings. So one time I was like, what does this do? And you go in there and you can tell it English how much you want they call it fast cash, the one button, and do you want a receipt or not? I have all this set.
Still asks you?
And it asks me every single time and gives me a receipt every single time.
Frustrating.
Why can't I stick it in there, type in my 4-digit code,
hit
cash. One button, fast cash, get my money in my card and leave?
It's not asking too much.
More
especially since they have the profile function.
Why can't you just tap your card? Not even have to put it in where it traps it.
That would be even better. That would be even better.
It would
because they've started this thing where they won't give you your cash until you pull your card out.
Right.
Yeah.
But we don't have the leave the card in the machine problem if you just tap it.
Right.
Exactly.
This is 2025.
Year of our Lord. And we're still choosing a language and getting a receipt. Waste of paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about what this is doing to the environment.
And I don't need the receipt because I know how much I've just taken out. And the bank will tell me when I'm overdrawn. So I don't even know to know how much is in there.
Yeah, the receipt's useless to me. I
really don't do that, Dad.
If you're listening. All right, that's what grinds my gears today. I'll have another one about stop signs and stop lights later.
Later tonight?
No, just like
another episode.
Yet another episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe when Tim's back.
I think that's a fair one to say it grind. How about this? Why don't in January you just take out the amount that you need for the whole year and put it in the center console of your car? And then when you go, you don't have to go.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, I'm full of great ideas. I don't know how to pronounce words, but I am full of good ideas.
That's not a bad idea. I like that.
Because you're always in your car. You have to drive there. It's not like you're walking. And if they break in your car, they're going to steal stuff.
I might do that the next time I go.
They're going to steal stuff that's a lot more valuable than the cash in the center console.
Yeah.
Will it be a temptation to use that money for things other than hair care?
And really, as long as you're not driving a Tesla, you're probably safe right now.
I do not drive a Tesla.
If you're driving a Tesla, they're going to key your car.
Yeah.
Wipe fecal matter on it.
Man. Did you see the guy who drove this really janky looking 4-wheeler into the side of a Cybertruck?
I did.
I thought it was a powered wheelchair, but it was a 4-wheeler that.
It's like a homemade 4-wheeler.
Yeah, it was homemade. It had in the very front of it was, I guess, the gas tank. Mm-hmm. It's like this clear jug, and then the handle and his legs were side by side of the jug, but there was barely any frame and no plastic or anything around it. It was. I'll show you.
It was a little.
I'll show you a video at the break.
It didn't work out too well for him.
It did not.
I don't imagine it did.
Yeah. And the Tesla truck held up. Okay.
I mean, it is stainless steel.
It is.
I do like the way that. While we're on that, I just pulled up the news article. Article is titled "Man Arrested for Allegedly Ramming ATV into Parked Tesla Vehicle." Allegedly, when there's literally a video.
Yeah, I've seen the video. He actually hits it. It's not allegedly.
I know why they do it, but why do they
innocent until proven guilty?
I think the video definitely.
Are you saying that video is proof?
I guess.
Speaking of videos and crazy stuff, we have to bring this up. Did y'all see about the guy that got arrested for taking his car on the playground at Leeds Elementary School?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't bring this up.
How about
our
that?
non-local listeners probably have not heard this story.
I don't know. I bet it went statewide. It was a pretty big story.
Yeah.
James Spann whatever tweet
I don't, however you say it.
On all the socials, he reshared it.
Yeah. The guy from Coleman, a little inebriated, drives around the back of the school and onto the playground where there are 80-something kids out there running around.
Yep.
And
81.
No one's hurt. They got him stopped.
Thanks to
a very quick response by
our officer
SRO,
Officer Cavley,
and Culpepper, the PE teacher. Culpepper did a really good job.
Culpepper was involved in that.
Yeah, he got all the kids off the playground. They said that it was under 2 minutes. Every kid was off that playground. And you know how hard it is to get kids off the playground.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. But if a car is out there you get off the
even
playground.
Those kids knew there's something that's not right.
Well, I think,
something is amiss.
I think the SRO blowing his whistle and pounding on the car trying to get the guy to stop probably did.
Man, how drunk do you have to be?
So I heard through the grapevine the guy had no recollection of it at court the next morning.
So he was blackout drunk. You had to be blackout drunk, Drew.
But how do you get back there without like running over some? I mean, Coleman is not like the city next. I mean, it's an hour and 10 minutes away, roughly.
And that's where his home was?
That's where he was from. He was a Coleman man.
I love this guy's mug shot.
Oh, it is awesome.
Because he's just,
that look on his face.
He's just standing there.
In the Carhartt shirt.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a Muppet.
A little bit, yeah.
I thought he looked like one of the Muppets.
It does not engender sympathy.
No.
You're just like... You read the story and you don't like the guy. Then you see his picture and you like him even less.
Exactly.
It doesn't humanize him at all.
And that's something that's crazy. That's close to home. That's a little spooky. But great job at the school.
So many kids could have got hurt.
Yeah. What a great job they did.
Man. He is facing 81 counts of reckless endangerment, one for every child, I guess. Driving under the influence, obviously. Criminal trespass, second degree. I don't know what the second degree means. And disorderly conduct.
He's going to jail.
Did he have a python in the car with him? Did they say anything about that?
He does not say anything about a python, but
it's possible.
They could add dangerous weapon. What's the charge for that?
Yeah,
armed
and dangerous.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Attempted assault.
If he had a python wrapped around each arm,
he would be armed.
Even though they don't have fangs.
No fangs.
No fangs.
They could choke people to death, perhaps.
But if you're in the car, you don't need it. So,
well, Drew, Jason and I have quite a surprise for you in our next segment, Bad Preacher.
I'm looking forward to it.
So
I'm just, you told me this before we went on air, and I'm a little worried that it's me.
It is not you.
Okay.
No, it's not you.
Okay.
We just want to.
Even though we should play you having the problem with the splinter.
We did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I was in Peru. That's right.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back in a few.
All right, welcome back. It is time for our Bad Preacher segment. Patrick and I are getting Drew with this one a little bit because he has no clue what he's about to hear. And we just want to get a raw, real reaction from
Visceral.
So
okay.
Bring us back in with the Bad Preacher.
Bad Preachers. Put your hand on that television set.
And you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
Isn't that something called a moshoko matata?
We got to take that one out. It drives me nuts.
Baby talk.
All right, Drew, this one falls into kind of that little on that fundamentalist side. And
okay.
I just want to see what your thoughts are on this teaching style.
All right.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but there is a great truth, just one. Great truth to preaching. I teach preaching at our school, and I tell my students the great truth to preaching. There's only one, and this is true.
Only one, Drew.
And here it is. In lieu of conviction, intimidation will work. Now, what that means is this. When we get up to preach, what we're hoping, what I'm hoping is that I say something to you that the Holy Spirit taps you on the heart and says amen. That's called conviction. But here's what preachers know. If I can't get the Holy Spirit in the room, then I'll intimidate you and I'll make you feel guilty so you'll think you're under conviction. Now, I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to get everybody here. I'm going to intimidate everybody in the room. You cannot stop me. I have you in my power. Watch. Here's how this works. You don't want people to go to hell, do you? Yeah, you're afraid to say it. You don't want people to go to hell, right? No, I don't want people to go to hell. And how many of you witness to 100 people this week? Because I didn't witness to 100 people. You don't really care about people. I don't really care about people going to... Guys, that's not the Lord. That's intimidation. And it's like everybody thinks they're like the assistant Holy Spirit. They hold that office. And so no matter what you say, someone will try to, make you feel guilty. So I wasn't here for this, but there were a couple of preachers, maybe 3 or 4 preachers, and they're having lunch because we're Baptist preachers and we're always eating. And this waitress just had a lousy attitude. Now I tell my guys, I tell the guys when they're preaching, I said, look,
guys,
I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if someone you love died. When you come to that pulpit, no one should know. They don't need to know how you feel. They don't need to know about what's bothering you.
Did he
but
mention
this lady
he
was
teaches
just
preachers?
kind of crass and crude.
What if you get a splinter?
And so finally, this one preacher just told her about it. Said, well, lady, you have your service hasn't been good. Your attitude hasn't been good. You have been testy and biting, and you ought, if you don't want the job, then go someplace else.
She was biting them? That's the end of the clip?
That's the end of the clip.
No,
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Oh,
that intimidated me.
All right, Drew. So what do you think about if you can't convict?
Now,
in lieu of conviction.
The guy confuses me because
this is the one truth of preaching.
Yeah. So I couldn't tell if he was in favor of that or not. At first, I thought he was giving them a preaching tip. When you don't have the truth, try to intimidate people. But then when he's doing his example.
Oh, I think he's telling them to intimidate people. He says that.
I think he was saying
my students. He said, I tell my students.
Well, that's how he started off. But then it sounded like he was saying, don't do this. This is what people do, and you should not do that.
I didn't
Patrick,
take it
what
that
did
way.
you hear?
There was a point in there where he says,
I don't know if you know this.
Shoot, I mean to play it again, where he says, the intimidation over conviction, and he gives that example, and then he goes, but that's not the Lord.
Yeah. So that's when I started thinking, okay, I think he's saying don't do this.
Right.
But I'm with Jason at the beginning. It was like, here's a tip for you.
Yeah.
But he said that's the one truth about preaching.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this now, and maybe this is why I took it the way that I took it, because I know for a fact that when a preacher starts screaming and hollering and punching stuff, he doesn't feel good about his message. He did not prepare.
Oh, I would agree.
Because when you're getting desperate up there and you don't have, and you know your content is not good, you start raising your voice and the theatrics come out. That's what I tell my kids when some guy's hollering and screaming and they'll look at me, I'll say, he didn't prepare.
And doing research for Bad Preacher today between work and going to meet Cassie for dinner, I was watching way too many Bad Preacher clips and videos.
It can get...
It's ridiculous sometimes, but there was one guy that said, this is what preachers do when they don't have enough material. And the guy was kind of doing a little of that, and he was doing now stay with me. Stay with me. I want you right here with me. And if you start hearing that, they're stalling. They're just spreading it out. How about you should never let on if you're having a bad day, if somebody has died, whatever you do, Drew, don't be real.
Don't be
in
authentic.
the pulpit. Don't be authentic. You fake your way through it.
What did he mean by that? Okay. So if he was saying, don't make everything about you.
He said you shouldn't have been whining about that splinter is what he was saying.
Huh. I'd like to see him take a splinter to the thumbnail, which I still have a bruise from.
A bamboo shoot is how I heard you describe it.
Yeah. Up the fingernail to the quick.
I kind of wish that I could pull up the full sermon is on YouTube and find this part quick enough so we could hear maybe the conclusion
context
of it. That maybe would give it some context.
Yeah. But that's a lot to ask.
Now, I don't know if you know this.
Did you find it?
Well, somebody actually linked to the exact minute of it, but let me skip ahead a little and let's see if we can.
Wow.
And how many of you?
Good. We can find out what happened to the waitress.
Yeah.
I hope
wanna
she
know.
spit in his food.
I did witness to 100 people. You don't really care about people. I don't really care about people going.
He's being very.
That's not the Lord.
He's acting right there.
That's intimidation.
It's not.
See, he said that's
like
not the Lord.
Everybody thinks
so he's trying to tell him not to do it.
Holy Spirit. They hold that office. And so no matter what you say,
so
someone
bad at communicating,
will try
you can't tell what.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little here.
So as she walks away, there's always one. And he goes like this. Now, brother, how do you know that she didn't just have somebody that she loves die? And she's hurting. And you went and said that. Oh, man, I'm sorry. You know what my response to that is? How does she know I didn't have somebody just die?
What?
How does she know?
And to give me bad service?
If you can't hide it, then work in a coal mine where you don't have to work with the public, okay? Do something where you don't have to work with the public. You need to have a good attitude.
Wait.
Okay, you have got to hide if you're grieving.
Okay, so
don't be authentic.
Let me walk through this. Okay. So the story goes, they're having dinner. They don't like their service.
Bunch of preachers. Yeah.
Well, hold on. He starts with intimidation over conviction, and then goes into this story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not
as an illustration of
trouble linking.
Okay, he's illustrating intimidation, and this preacher at the restaurant intimidated the waitress.
Okay,
she turned around and walked off, and someone got onto the intimidator and said she might have just lost somebody.
Die.
He said there's always one in every group that's being compassionate. There's always one. Hey, you might have been a little harsh to that lady.
Right. Okay. So now, but then he retorts, how do you know I wasn't having a bad day? I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. This is so there's a lot of
he's saying you
so now he's defending
all the time.
No, the story seems to defend the intimidator.
I
because
think
he weighed in and he said,
look, I go back to his premise at the beginning. There's one truth in preaching. If conviction doesn't work, use intimidation.
But you heard it when Patrick replayed. He said, that's not the Lord.
But that's what I think he's saying is if the Lord won't convict, you got to intimidate.
Man, that was a mess. And he trains preachers.
It's a little scary.
There's a lady up in Montana.
Oh, now we've gone to Montana.
And she's probably dead now.
We hope.
Which has probably made the world a better place to live.
Oh, nice.
Her name is Ruth.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure her last name is Les. And Ruth, if she wasn't a professional wrestler, she could have been. And she'd come out and she'd say this, what do you want? Just Ruth. In fact, it was a drawing card for the restaurant, And I mean, she'd go, well, why do you want that?
Okay, I'm going to pause right
here
for a
second.
second.
Is he at another restaurant now?
He eats a lot. And he's a skinny guy.
He just put something in his mouth, though. I can't tell if it was a pill or a piece of gum or what.
If he starts foaming a little bit.
Yeah.
And this preacher took his mother-in-law there, which I know I can understand that. I can take your mother-in-law someplace like that. And so he takes his father-in-law and mother-in-law there, and this woman walks up and goes, what do you want?
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Also, his mom ordered trout. And, she takes the orders, she goes to the kitchen, and the preacher says, now, I can see the door to the kitchen. My mother-in-law has her back to it. And she said, I see Ruth coming out with the food. And he said, my mother-in-law is leaning over saying something to her husband. And she don't even say, excuse me, sticks her hairy old arm right between them with this trout, fully equipped. Head, skin.
Where is this going?
Fins, eyes, everything.
Her
sticks
arm
it
or
right
the trout?
between them and drops it in front of this woman. And the woman is just startled. She goes, oh. And the woman goes, Ruth goes, what's the matter? She goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to my fish having the head on it.
Oh.
I think
is that the story?
And this is during a sermon.
Yeah, I think this has changed from the original message being the bad part and the
stories that follow are worse.
Yeah, it's like meandering through something that...
He said the world is better off without her.
This is...
And he trains preachers.
Yeah.
Okay. This takes me to another discussion.
Is this a grind your gears?
No, this is a painful memory moment. We've all been there where the guest preacher comes in and he's not quite ready for prime time, or he's past his prime. Okay, that happens.
We have been there.
I've got an older friend who has made me promise that I will confront him. I'm the wrong guy to ask this, but he's an older preacher. And he said, "Listen, Drew, if I start losing it, I want you to tell me and get me out of the pulpit." But have y'all been through those services where there's a really awkward speaker and 5 minutes in, you know he does not need to be up there?
Yes. And thankfully, that's when I think, boy, I'm glad I'm not in the leadership. I'm glad I didn't invite him. I'm going to get out and read my Bible now.
Well,
and start texting Drew and Tim.
You should vet everybody you invite. But sometimes you form a relationship with people that preachers don't get to hear each other that often. It's easier these days. These days, everybody's online, so you can check them out a lot easier. But in the old days, it wasn't as easy. And you form a friendship with somebody, and they seem rational and normal. And so you extend an invitation, and then you realize, I've made a terrible mistake.
But you can't take
it's too late.
That's right. Because
you've got to sit through it with everybody
else.
else.
There's not a shepherd's hook to pull him off the stage.
Oh.
But that guy is in the middle of a sermon. I mean, from the pulpit.
He's a buffoon.
I would agree. And it's scary that he's training people. And he's proud of the way he is.
This is the Freedom Baptist Church. So
it didn't sound like there were a whole lot of people in that audience.
Or a whole lot of freedom there.
Does appear to be a PM service.
What a story.
Large Marge in Montana.
Her name was Large, and I'm pretty sure her last name was Marge.
Tell them Large Marge sent you. That's our Pee-wee.
That is our Pee-wee reference.
Pee-wee quote of the night. Yeah.
Ruthless. Her name was Ruth, and her last name was Les. So stupid.
That guy is in the Bad Preacher Hall of Fame.
You know what he needs? He needs a friend that can be real with him, not put on a facade like he was telling everybody to do, but be real with him and say, dude, this is ridiculous. You should stop talking.
He needs a Drew.
I'm telling you, if you started rambling like that, I'd raise my hand. And then I'd stand up and I'd say, Brother Drew, let me go. I'm going to put my arm. I'm going to walk up there. I'm going to put my arm around you. You're going to think I'm bringing you your 6th bottle of water. But I'm going to put my arm around you. I'm going to say, come on, bud. Let's come down here.
Drew, what would you do if somebody raised their hand in the middle of Sunday morning worship services?
To try to stop me?
Well, just you're preaching and somebody just is like,
Yeah, I would ignore it as long as I possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just see what happens.
And hope somebody else kind of takes care of him.
I would try to get Patrick Mosley's attention and have him escort said person out. I did have an elder tell me, I'm sure I've told this on the podcast before, but I was starting a gospel meeting, and this elder told me, he said, I hope you're better than the last guy.
Oh, no.
And I said, really? What was wrong with him? He said, I had to stop him in the middle of his sermon. He was saying some things that weren't true. And so I walked up there and took the microphone away from him and said, you're done. This meeting is over.
Withstood him to the face.
And he said, that was it. I said, okay, I hope I am better than him because I do not want to go through that.
Yeah, that would be an awkward moment.
And I got through the meeting and
nobody
stopped me.
Out.
So.
Yeah.
Must have done okay.
It's all good.
Yeah. I'm going to go on the record here on the podcast. If you ever get weird up there, I'm coming to your rescue. Be like, oh man, something's not clicking. We need to get him to the hospital.
Well, my device could go off or something could happen. I do have equipment in my brain.
Somebody in the neighborhood across the street hit their garage door opener, and the next thing you know,
you never know.
Drew's gone. He's picking up AM channels. It's not good.
Stranger things have happened.
All right, well, let's take a break, then we'll come back with a quote. All right, welcome back. It is time for our quotation of the night. We have one that I selected from a book that I'm currently reading. The name of the book, if I can get it to pull up here, is The Art of Letting Go, and it's How to Let Go. I cannot get the full title to pull up here. Let's see if I can do it this way. The Art of Letting Go, How to Let Go of the Past, Look Forward to the Future, and there's a lot of other stuff on it that for some reason or another I cannot get. There we go. The Art of Letting Go, How to Let Go of the Past, Look Forward to the Future, and finally enjoy the emotional freedom you deserve. It was just a book that popped up on Kindle Unlimited. There's a series of them. One of them's The Art of Saying No. That's going to be my next read, which I need because I'm very bad
Who's
about.
Who's the author of this book?
Damon Zahariadis.
Okay, now I know why you didn't read the author's name before.
Yeah,
sorry,
thanks
sorry,
for
I put you through that.
There, yeah, but each section of this book, he has quotes, and this quote actually came from the beginning of the book. He said notable quotes about letting go, and it's actually the first one he lists. So the quote is, "Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go." And it's by Hermann Hesse. I'll read it again. "Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go." And the whole book is about kind of letting go of regret, past mistakes, things like that, trying to get past some of your emotional insufficiencies and learning to live. From what I've read about 55, 60% of it. I'm reading on Kindle, so I can tell you the percentage I've read. A lot of it is about learning to live in the present and not reflecting back on the past and letting the past be a burden to your current existence. Because, and I don't know, it's one of those things that with my history in my life, it's a good book for me to read. I hold on to a lot of things. And I saw the quote and I thought, well, I sent y'all about 10 that I found from headings.
It was more
book.
like 27.
Sorry about that. I told you I found
separate text messages. This morning my phone's going.
Were they all
a whole bunch of pictures?
They were pictures. Yeah,
it all came as separate messages.
Guys, you should have Androids. If you had Androids, it probably would have still.
I mean, you are the minority in this room.
Yeah, smartest guy in the room, though. Not really.
This was interesting. I don't know if the term is the Mandela effect or that occurs to me. I don't know. Patrick, you can look it up and tell me if I'm using that term correctly. This is the second time this month that I've encountered Hermann Hesse. And I don't recall ever hearing his name before. The first time was somebody told me about his novel, Siddhartha. And I looked into that. I want to read that sometime. He's early 20th century. Mm-hmm. And Siddhartha was the name of the Buddha. And there's some novel that's kind of strange, but also has some religious implications. So I'm always looking for things that are kind of mysterious, but that have a spiritual dimension to them in literature. So it looked like it was right up my alley. It may not be, and I'm not endorsing the book. I haven't read it, but just it's interesting that right after I heard about that book, then Jason sends us this quote from Hermann Hesse. And I think it's a powerful quote. And the whole idea of the book you're reading, Letting Go, is something that really intrigues me. In fact, a little self-promotion here. I've got a novel coming out in the fall that is about this, about the concept of love, not holding on, not seizing and gripping, but love, true love is sacrificial. It's letting go with an open hand. And that's a very intriguing concept to me because I believe it's true. And it's also really hard to do. It requires so much faith to do this because you're depending on God is what you're doing when you do this.
Yeah.
You're relinquishing your control and your strength, and letting go says, I'm gonna go with somebody else's strength over my own.
Yep.
And that is a scary thing to do.
It's terrifying. And the whole concept is the idea of surrender. And surrender is a very biblical term, surrendering to God's will for our lives, which is to be obedient to his word, to live loving him and loving mankind. And it's something that we as humans, and I'm speaking broadly here, and it may just be me, but it's something that I think we all really, really struggle with, because it's so easy to hold on to things in our lives that either we have regrets for, that have a lot of meaning, or that have shaped us or affected our present state. But sometimes by holding on to those things, we hinder our ability to grow because we get locked in to our past.
Yeah.
And our past is the past. You can't undo it. You cannot fix it. I promise. I have tried every way I can find to undo the past. You cannot undo your past. You can only make change in your present. And you can't do a lot about your future because you're not even promised tomorrow. So the only thing I can focus on is today. But if I've chained myself to the past, if I'm being pulled backwards, or if I'm always looking backwards, I can't see what I'm doing in the here and now. And I'm not fully surrendering myself to the moment, to the present, and to God's will in my life. And I don't know, there's a lot of recovery stuff that comes in talking about surrender. I mean, you think about 12-step programs and the 12 steps. You know, one of the very first things in a 12-step program is admitting that you're powerless over whatever your addiction is. And surrendering that control, acknowledging that your lives are unmanageable, and turning it over to your higher power, which is their way of saying God. So it's an important thing. It's a stage that's hard. And we think we're strong when we hold on to stuff.
Yeah. Where do we get that? I think we all grow up with that.
I think it's kind of what the bad preacher was talking about.
I don't know what that guy was talking about.
No, talking about the put on a facade, put on your happy face, and not let anybody see what's going on. Because when you're suppressing those things in your life, you're not letting go of them. You only let go of stuff by getting it out into the open, getting it into the light.
We recognize the strength of people who let go, who make great sacrifices, who are able to change and adapt and grow, which I like how you connected growth with change, because growth is change in the right direction. Right. And we all know that if you're not growing, you're dead.
Yeah. You have to be
change is you cannot live without changing.
No.
And change requires letting go. Well, what was I saying? We all recognize in others the strength of letting go, but in ourselves, we seem to think, if I quit, I'm a loser. If I don't hold on to this toxic relationship, I'm a quitter.
That's right.
If I don't cling to this past of mine, then I can't recover. Whatever it is, fill in the blank. We feel like if I don't grip and in desperation hold on and cling with my fingertips to this thing that is trying to get away from me, that is really out of my control, then I'm not strong, I'm weak.
That's right.
And that comes from something. I think it's innate in all of us.
I think it comes from
but it's false.
Almost a sense of preservation. Like you're trying, like we want to control everything around us.
And we call it love.
Yeah,
we call it love.
But it's not. The other side of that, something you were saying there is when we're holding on to these things, sometimes it's because we're really afraid of what we're going to find if we let go. Sometimes we let our past and the burdens we carry, the things that we carry that we hold on to so tightly, start to define in our mind who we are. We put our value, we develop our own value based on what we've been doing. So we see ourselves with shame. We see ourselves with regret. We see ourselves as not worthy.
You're talking about identity
of success.
Here, right?
That's right. Our identity is tied.
So if we let go of that, we don't know who we are anymore, and that's a scary thing.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
And we're afraid of being authentic. So we hold on to what we think makes us authentic, but those are all things that you can't do anything about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything behind you that is in your past is there. You can't undo it. You can't unring that bell. You can't unsay those words. You can't undo those acts. But starting today, you can let go of those things and live for the day and live for Christ, and you can live with the value that God gives us. But you can't do that until you let go.
Letting go of something is different from erasing it.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's something we've all got to understand about our past. We're not saying act like it never happened or that you were never like that or that you haven't recovered. Your past will always be a part of you, but letting go means it's not going to define you.
It's not your identity.
It becomes you. Your past unfolds into who you are today, but you can let that past go to the point that you move forward into a new person. And of course, God is very helpful to that. Now, there is a very simple reason why letting go works and grasping desperately does not. And it's God. To me, God is a person, yes, but he's also the ultimate reality. Mm-hmm. So whatever God is what works in life. Think of it that way. And I'm thinking about Philippians 2, where Paul says, have this mind in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Let the mind of Christ be your mind. And then he describes Christ, starting verse 6, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped. Now, there's a way to translate this that sounds something like being God is not a seizing, grasping existence. He's telling us something very important about the nature of God, that God is not a desperate, seizing, grasping being. And to illustrate, verse 7, he emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form, he humbled himself. You're going lower and lower here in this verse, from God to human to humility. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death. Now we're at death. And then lower still, even death on a cross, an accursed death. Okay, so I need to make sure people understand. I'm not saying Jesus gave up his divinity when he came to earth. I'm saying that he took on humanity, and that was a change, and he let go of that glory that he had with, he says this in John 17, 1-4, that he had let go of the glory that he had when he was with God in the beginning before his human form. He became human and divine when he was born as a man. And that is the nature of God. God is not a grasping, seizing being. He's a sacrificial being. He will give up things. He will let go. And that's why our letting go works. And why we're happier that way, and it will release us into who we were created to be. But we're fighting that existence by being desperate and clinging to things. And another verse occurs to me, Hebrews 12, 1-2, lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely. It only clings to us because we won't let it go.
That's right.
Some of us don't let it go because it's pleasurable, but some of us don't let it go because it has become who we are, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I like what you're saying about identity, and we need a new identity, which is a scary thing.
Well, and we're afraid of letting go of it because we don't know who we are. We've lived so long grasping the problems of our past that we've become defined by them. And to remove that veil of the past is terrifying because you don't know what makes me happy. Where do I find joy? What gives me fulfillment? Because you've spent your whole life tied to guilt, to shame, to regret, to I'm not worthy of where I am. I'm not worthy of what I have. And there's a lot of freedom, and we're terrified of that freedom because we don't know what we want to do with it. And then we question our happiness. You know,
is there some kind of comfort in that misery? I mean,
I think it's familiar. I think that's it. And because it's when we're wrong and we know we're wrong, it's almost like we punish ourselves by playing it over and over and over and over in our heads, thinking, if I can remember how miserable and wretched I am, I'm less likely to go through this again.
And it's kind of a twisted works-based salvation.
It is.
Like I'll become an ascetic and I'll punish myself and I'll hurt myself and find redemption if I hurt long enough and bad enough. But that's not the gospel.
No, it's not, because the gospel is one full of mercy and grace and peace and welcoming. I mean, you know, when Christ came to the earth, he did not go and preach to the rich and to those in palaces. He went to the poor, the downtrodden, the broken, because that's who needed the Savior. That's who was at rock bottom, and that's who would listen to his message of redemption. Mm. And when we're tied to our past, what we need is a message of redemption. And we can't find that if we're holding on with our fists clenched to our past. Because the redemption is in the present, not in the past.
It's almost like you can't hold on to anything. We're talking a lot about the past, but then you brought up wealth. And it reminded me that it seems, this is not a scientific observation, I haven't tested this, but I think anecdotally people observe this, that poor people, desperate people, people that have nothing to lose are more responsive to the gospel than successful, wealthy people. And you can see that where the church is growing is where people struggle, and where it's not growing is where people are prosperous. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because it's kind of the rich young ruler problem. They have nothing to lose when there's nothing to hold on to.
Yeah.
So their hands are open already. And the prosperity is a hazard spiritually. Because you've got things in your hand and you have to do something that people in poverty don't have to do. Now, I'm not saying poverty is preferable in this life to wealth. I'm not saying wealth is evil in itself, but Paul recognized in 1 Timothy 6, 9, and 10 that it is a root of all kinds of evil, and that many people are drawn away by it and have fallen away from the faith because of their the temptation of the love of money. Not money, but the love of money. So when you were talking about that, it just made me think that may be an explanation behind why poor people are more responsive than wealthy people.
Yeah. We hold on to a lot of things that are not healthy for us, and we do it because it's familiar, it's comfortable, and we want to control. And being a Christian is all about being out of control. Not that you're wild and crazy, but that you are humbling yourself before God. You are following his commandments, living by his word, sacrificing yourself and putting yourself second behind God and what he wants. And we can't do that when we're holding on and trying to control everything.
It goes back to George Foreman. Some of the things he was saying was what was in my hands was not making me happy.
Yeah. He said that he was very poor while very rich, and very rich when very poor, is I think the way he put it, talking about how his finances had no effect on whether or not he was fulfilled in life or unfulfilled. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this book goes. It's been a pretty easy read. This is something I struggle with. I like to hold on to things, and I love to be in control of things. And learning to let go is something that it's taken me 45, almost 46 years to figure out, and I still don't have it figured out. But I'm in a lot better place now than I was even 6 months ago, which is a whole lot better than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And when I saw this quote, I thought, well, when I saw all of them, I sent y'all a bunch of them, 28.
It was like 27.
That's what I thought you said. Yeah. It was because so many of them dealt with this type of thing, this type of emotional thing. So,
there were several good ones in there about letting go.
Yeah.
And after you learn how to let go, you're going to teach us how to say no.
That one's going to be tough.
So that's going to be good. That's just going to give our listeners, our passengers, reason to keep listening. So
I like that.
Thank you for the preview of your reading, because I think that creeps out in what we do here.
Drew, before you close us out, can we talk about the Mandela effect real quick?
Yeah. Okay. So I used it wrong, didn't I?
The Mandela effect is, well, dang it.
Can I take another stab at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is
when you see something and you think that you've been seeing it everywhere. No. Okay. Let me try again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got it. It's when everybody suddenly starts seeing a phenomenon.
Okay.
Phenomenon.
So the Mandela effect is the phenomenon where a group of people misremember a fact or event.
Okay.
What you're talking about is called frequency bias or the frequency illusion. And this is the most useless fact that I know, because as soon as you said Mandela effect, I didn't want to interrupt you because you had really good things to say. It's called the Bader-Meinhof syndrome or phenomenon.
The frequency
thing. So you buy a car and you see that car everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Say it again.
The Bader-Meinhof syndrome. It is.
Is it named after somebody called Bader-Meinhof?
No, it's actually named after a German terrorist group. And there's go read it on Wikipedia about how it came about. But its frequency illusion is called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon.
Okay.
It's the most useless fact I know, and I couldn't wait to tell you.
I find that very useful.
But it's not the same. It's like hey, batter, swing batter.
Yeah.
Different batter.
But pronounced that way.
Bader-Meinhof.
Well, I'm saying it, so who knows how it's actually pronounced.
Do you guys remember a movie in the 90s that had Sinbad in it called Shazam?
I remember seeing
I never watched
the movie being out, but I never saw Shazam.
The movie didn't exist, but I distinctly remember seeing a movie with Sinbad in it where he was a genie. Didn't exist. I am.
Now there is a movie called Shazam. Sinbad's not.
There's a movie called Kazam with Shaq from the same time period. Now there's a movie called Shazam, not related, that was released in the last, I don't know, decade.
Sinbad hasn't worked for a while.
It's been a while.
He's looking for his next project.
Since the Son of a Preacher Man tour, he has not been out there.
That's the Mandela effect, where you and a whole bunch of people remember an event or something
that didn't happen.
Another good one's the Berenstain Bears.
Okay, I remember the books.
It's the Berenstain Bears. It's an A, not an E, but everyone remembers it with an E.
It's spelled on the cover of the book with an A.
With an A.
Now I gotta look that up.
Yep.
So that's an example of the Mandela effect?
Of the Mandela effect, where everyone remembers Berenstain.
Yeah, it is Berenstain Bears. There it is, Mandela
but it's the Berenstain
I've got one.
Bears.
What do you call? Now that I'm saying this, I'm not sure that it qualifies. What do you call like an ant bite on your arm or a red raised bump on your arm or your skin?
A bug bite?
A whelp.
That's what I thought.
But it's a welt.
Correct.
Oh, whelp with a P versus a T.
Is a lion cub or slang for whelp. Whelp is not a rash or a raised bump on the skin.
It's a welt.
It's a welt.
Is that kind of like tumped? I tumped over.
Have we talked about tumped on the podcast?
This is the.
I think tumped.
I've never said I tumped.
I've heard
over.
tumped used.
Yeah.
I don't use the term myself, but
it's in the dictionary.
Usually when people are on a canoe trip, they use that term.
They tump over.
Interesting.
Those are just freebies for our listeners.
Yeah.
They didn't know they were going to get all this information.
The knowledge
tonight.
that is spread to the masses through this podcast is frightening.
I don't know if they like the way that it spreads to us immediately before it spreads to them in real time, but but that's what you get. You know, if you listen into the late hours of this podcast, this is the kind of service.
Well, I will be going home and watching the biopic.
Yes.
On George
or the biopic.
Foreman. Can't say
whatever
that
you
anymore.
want.
Now I'm going to be telling patients that they're myopic.
You're going to get it all.
Yeah, I'm going to be
myopic is nearsighted, so that means you can't see far away.
Right, yeah.
So you're going to have to get really close to the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a biopic.
For a
biopic movie.
Biopic.
Well,
I stand corrected again.
We do look forward to learning how to say no and all kinds of other great wisdom on this podcast. We need you to keep it going by leaving us a rating or review on your favorite podcast platform. And just stay tuned. We're going to continue coming up with great quotes and talking about life and the wisdom of the Bible. So join us next time on Passages.
Follow us on Instagram at Passages_podcast. And join us next time on Passages.